Breaking news coming in this morning as at least 11 people have been confirmed dead and several others critically injured following a devastating road crash on the R102 near Lotus Park in Isipingo, south of Durban. The tragic incident, which occurred on Thursday morning shortly after 7:30 a.m., has sent shockwaves through the local community and the nation at large. Emergency responders arriving at the scene described it as a situation of chaos and carnage, with wreckage scattered across the roadway and passengers trapped inside mangled vehicles. Stay with us until the end of this report for verified details on what happened, the response from emergency services, and what authorities are saying as investigations continue. If you value timely and factual updates, please remember to like this video and subscribe for more breaking news coverage. According to initial reports, the collision involved a fully loaded minibus taxi and a truck, both of which sustained extensive damage upon impact. The force of the crash was so severe that several passengers were reportedly thrown from their seats, while others were trapped inside the crushed remains of the taxi. Emergency services were immediately dispatched to the scene after receiving multiple distress calls from motorists and residents in the area who witnessed the aftermath of the collision. Paramedics, firefighters, traffic officers, and disaster management teams worked under extremely challenging conditions as they attempted to rescue survivors and provide urgent medical care. Some of the injured were found in critical condition and required immediate stabilization before being transported to nearby hospitals. Others, tragically, were declared dead at the scene due to the severity of their injuries. Authorities later confirmed that at least 11 fatalities had been recorded, with the possibility that this number could change as more information becomes available. Eyewitnesses described a horrifying scene as emergency crews battled against time to free trapped victims from the wreckage. Twisted metal, shattered glass, and debris littered the road, while the sound of sirens filled the air. Some survivors were seen being carried on stretchers, while others were treated on site for serious injuries. The emotional toll on first responders and bystanders alike was evident, as many struggled to process the scale of the tragedy unfolding before them. Preliminary information suggests that wet road conditions may have played a significant role in the crash. The Durban region has experienced rainfall, leaving roads slippery and reducing visibility in some areas. Authorities believe that these conditions could have contributed to the loss of control that led to the collision, although the exact cause has not yet been confirmed. Investigators are currently examining all possible factors, including speed, vehicle condition, driver behavior, and weather-related issues. As a result of the crash, the R102 near Lotus Park was closed to traffic, causing major disruptions for commuters traveling in and out of the area during the busy morning rush hour. Motorists were advised to use alternative routes as traffic officers redirected vehicles away from the scene. The closure was necessary to allow emergency personnel to work safely and to enable investigators to conduct a thorough examination of the crash site. Medical teams remained on scene for several hours, ensuring that all injured individuals were accounted for and transported to appropriate medical facilities. Hospitals in the surrounding areas were placed on high alert to receive patients, particularly those in critical condition. Family members of passengers were urged to contact local hospitals and authorities for information, as officials worked to compile a list of victims and notify next of kin. This tragic incident once again highlights the ongoing dangers faced by road users, particularly on busy routes such as the R102. Minibus taxis remain a primary mode of transport for millions of South Africans, especially during peak commuting hours. When accidents involving taxis occur, the consequences are often severe due to the number of passengers on board. Safety advocates have repeatedly called for stricter enforcement of road regulations, improved vehicle maintenance, and increased driver training to reduce the frequency and severity of such crashes. Authorities have confirmed that a full investigation is underway to determine the exact circumstances leading up to the collision. Accident reconstruction specialists will analyze skid marks, vehicle damage, and road conditions, while statements will be taken from witnesses and surviving drivers. The findings of this investigation will be crucial in establishing accountability and preventing similar tragedies in the future. The South African Police Service and traffic authorities have urged motorists to exercise extreme caution, especially during wet weather conditions. Drivers are reminded to reduce speed, maintain safe following distances, and remain alert at all times. Officials have emphasized that even familiar roads can become deadly when conditions change, and a momentary lapse in judgment can have devastating consequences. Community leaders and local residents have expressed their condolences to the families of those who lost their lives in the crash. Many have described the incident as heartbreaking, noting that some of the victims were likely on their way to work, school, or other daily commitments when their lives were tragically cut short. Support services, including trauma counseling, are expected to be made available to affected families and witnesses. This incident adds to growing concerns about road safety in KwaZulu-Natal, a province that has seen a number of serious crashes in recent years. High traffic volumes, challenging road conditions, and human error continue to contribute to fatal accidents, despite ongoing awareness campaigns. Authorities have reiterated their commitment to improving road safety, but acknowledge that lasting change requires cooperation from all road users. As investigations continue, officials have asked the public to refrain from spreading unverified information or graphic content related to the crash. Misinformation can cause unnecessary distress to families and may interfere with official processes. Verified updates will be released as more details become available, including confirmation of the identities of the deceased once families have been notified. For now, the focus remains on supporting the injured, assisting grieving families, and understanding exactly what went wrong on the R102 this morning. The hope is that lessons learned from this tragedy will lead to stronger safety measures and greater awareness, helping to prevent future loss of life on South Africa's roads. In conclusion, at least 11 people have been killed and several others critically injured in a devastating crash involving a taxi and a truck on the R102 near Lotus Park in Isipingo, south of Durban, just after 7:30 a.m. on Thursday morning. Wet road conditions are believed to have contributed to the severity of the collision, while emergency services describe the scene as one of chaos and devastation. The road remains closed as investigations continue and medical teams attend to the injured. Our thoughts are with the victims, their families, and everyone affected by this tragic event. We will continue to bring you verified updates as more information emerges.